And One News anchors Ed Lingao and Gretchen Ho are back in Palawan aboard the Christmas convoy mothership. Let's talk to Gretchen now. Gretch, anong oras nga ba kayo nakabalik sa Palawan at kamusta yung experience nyo between December 9 and now at ano nga ba talaga yung nangyari?
Denise, a good afternoon to you from El Nido. MV Kapitan Felix Oca is now on its way back to Manila. We got here at around 4 p.m. this afternoon. There were some challenges ferrying passengers from the huge mothership back to San Fernando Port because if you remember, the boat that we rode, the MV Chawi, was the one in charge of dropping off donations to Lawak Island. So we had to ride the small boats to get back home here in El Nido. However, before the mission wrapped up, there was one final gesture of solidarity with the fishing vessels coming here to San Fernando Port and just carrying their banners, shouting, "Atin ito." Now, the mood somehow lightened this morning after hearing of the news that the donations made it to Lawak past Chinese vessels carried by cargo and fishing vessel MV Chawi. Now, it's still mission accomplished as the Christmas convoy was meant to spread the Christmas cheer to our Filipino soldiers and fisherfolk in the Kalayaan group of islands. However, many still wanted to push through yesterday, even after the captain of MV Kapitan Felix Oca decided to head home at around 4:45 p.m. yesterday. Citing dangerous maneuvers by the Chinese ships, De La Cruz says the Chinese Coast Guard did not just encircle, but even headed towards a course that would have led to a head-on encounter. Now, it was at 4 p.m. yesterday, Denise, when we spotted the first Chinese Navy destroyer, Changsa 173, that went as near as 5 nautical miles from our mothership. At around 4:30 p.m., we saw Chinese Coast Guard vessel 5305 going as near as 2.5 nautical miles. Now, the Chinese Coast Guard ship encircled Kapitan Felix Oca, going as fast as 21 to 23 knots, heading towards the same course. At one point, it even crossed the path of our PCG escort Melchora Aquino. With all of those happening and all of those factors coming together, Captain George De La Cruz made a judgment call to turn the ship around, headed home, even with the Philippine Coast Guard insisting that we could still continue on. Stay on our port side, yan yung sinabi ng PCG kahapon. The Coast Guard tried to convince Captain De La Cruz to continue, but the captain refused, saying he doesn't want to put the lives of the crew and passengers in danger. There were no radio challenges sent to MV Kapitan Felix Oca, but with tensions high and the sun already setting at that point, it would be doubly dangerous to face more Chinese ships at nighttime. Kahapon, Denise, nakausap namin yung captain, humihingi siya ng paumanhin sa lahat. He said, sorry, pero at least makakapamalengke pa tayo ng isda bukas. You know, emotions are all over the place, Denise. At first, we were very, very excited. The volunteers, young as they were very, very happy to be on the mothership. They were excited to be fighting for our territory, for the West Philippine Sea. But that went down with the captain's decision. And this morning, we're glad to see, some rays of hope because the gifts did make it to Lawak Island. We saw the fishing vessels and the fight continues on. Akbayan and the Atin to coalition says they're thinking of heading to the Chinese embassy when they get back to Manila. However, Rafaela David of the Atin Ito coalition says they will look at this as an inaugural mission. They have lessons to take away. They will need to regroup, but the goal is to normalize and regularize travel in this area. After all, the West Philippine Sea is ours. Back to you, Denise.
Thank you, Gretchen. Again, that was One News anchor and Women in Action, Gretchen Ho. Thanks for joining us. Salamat sa'yo.